and we'll see what this what Sunlight's all about. So, my understanding is it's a very pretty game. So yeah, let's go make Bob Ross happy.
Welcome. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you focused and not thinking about whatever's bothering you these days? I'm not here to test you. Please relax. Let your thoughts come and go and listen as they fade away in the distance. For better or for worse, this is where your life has brought you. Looking at a screen, listening to me. Imagine, for a moment, that you've just had a child. It's healthy, but unfortunately also completely blind. For their whole life, they will live in the dark and not see a thing. Their perception of reality is something that you might never be able to comprehend. How would you describe the world to them? What can't be touched or heard, smelled or tasted? How would you describe sunlight? By what it does? Or how it feels on their skin? I think I'd play them this piece of music. First composed by Tchaikovsky in 1878, these rays of light have traveled through decade after decade, finally reaching your ears this very moment. You have also traveled far to get here today, but you're only passing through and should probably get going.
Welcome to Sunlight, indeed. I love what this game has going for it.
I'd like to tell you a story.
Tell me a story. I love how this game's
It all
aesthetic
happened
already
to me
is.
when I was young, walking in a forest much like you are.
Much like you are.
Those were days filled with boundaries and rules. Of no running in the hallways, don't do this or that or the other.
What's going on, Jungle? Welcome in.
I walked the forest to breathe.
Mountain biking. Interesting, Jungle.
One day, deep in the woods, I found a funny-looking tree called old brighten. With little work, a few bits of bark became huge ships. Calm creeks turned to ferocious oceans. I can still recall the people I imagined dragged downstream with a sense of guilt.
Like, this is so beautiful. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
I noticed something peculiar. It was crying.
The tree's gone.
Every crumple,
Moved?
like eyes closed tightly. Clear drops streaming silently down its wrinkly skin. So I did, as children do, tasted it.
Not because it looked tasty, but to figure out what it was. The first drop
made my tongue tingle. A second made it prickle. And the very moment the third landed on my tongue, a profound sensation
spread through my chest. Undefinable.
Wow, it's weird. So many different voices.
Specific. One thing was clear. Something
Was changing within me. I remember breathing in and out, feeding the fire.
Are we having lag issues? If we're having lag issues, then I wanna stop for a second. All right, let's keep going and see what happens. It's better now. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe it was just a fluctuation of the internet gods. Is this game not gorgeous though? Like, look at this art style. Like, just look at it. Look at it. Is that not beautiful? I see why one of the reviews said this was, quote, Bob Ross's wet dream. I mean, the aesthetic is amazing. Oh, I picked up the flower.
The following day, I woke to a slight prickle in my fingertips. I studied them closely, discovering circular ridges in the foreign landscape of my skin. The prickling soon slipped my attention. It would be another week until it returned.
A wave of gentle needles moving over my skin.
So like poison?
Falling asleep, perhaps?
It's like a watercolor dream. How's it going, Trek?
Until it returned for the third time.
First making its way up my neck, before engulfing my skull completely.
From behind, I could even feel the tiny needles covering
That sounds
my
terrible.
eyeballs.
Tiny needles covering your
But
eyeballs.
it did not stop there. I held my breath as the small thorns crawled around my lips before
spreading into my lungs and stomach. My awareness spread with it, and I remember
The strangest sensation of my mushy dinner in there.
as if I held its remains in the palm of my hand.
This is such a weird experience. Like I feel like this is what happens whenever you play like a walking sim while under the influence of magic mushrooms or something. Like what is happening? What's going on for you tonight, Trek Nerd? Got your shoe whipping? What do you mean, Legion? Cuzzy says her question of the day, you enjoy sport bowls, but you like indoor bowls better. Okay, so you mean like soccer and stuff like that? What kind of game is this, Cuzzy? This is a 30-minute indie experience. It is exactly what you see. It is a story told in 30 minutes. How's the frames looking? Is it still dropping? I got another alert, so I want to double check. How's it going, everybody? How's it looking? So why is mountain biking your favorite, Jungle, out of all the different things out there? Because you have experienced a lot of things. So far, you don't see any problems? Okay, we'll keep going. Firewatch, that's one I'd love to play, Jungle, but I have not. Have you played it? Bowls is a different game. Oh, Bowls is its own game? We got another flower?
Suddenly, my body took control and opened my mouth.
An explosion of air rushing into my lungs.
The tingling spread with it through an endless web of veins. Soon reaching my beating heart, for a moment I stood in awe.
Of the activity within my body.
I
Felt
felt
my heart beating faster and my skin
sweating.
Your body is your only vessel in this world. And when it misbehaves, the claustrophobia is total.
Seek help? I thought.
And at that very moment, the tingling needles
Shot from my brain down through my spine. I felt them scatter through my upper leg, where muscles contracted
Did to lift my knee.
My body weight shifted forward and shockwaves
spread from the foot sole as it landed softly on the ground.
The process repeated itself in greater detail for every step. I was overwhelmed.
But my body kept moving.
I do not at all feel like the boss
Giving directions. It all happened automatically. And I
Was simply along for the ride.
Is this describing like having a stroke? I'm a little confused. It talks about like needles and paralysis like overtaking your body. It's odd. You love Firewatch. It's your favorite walking sim, really, Junto. That's awesome. Might be a spike. Okay. It's not bowls or cereal or soup. Oh, well, never mind then. Oh, you hit him with your sandal. Gotcha. It is exactly what you see. It's telling us a story, and we are experiencing it. I'm not sure exactly what it's talking about. Talking about getting pricked by a flower and experiencing sensations.
Was cold.
And apparently you went to the doctor.
Crossing the floor felt like a polar expedition.
My parents, distant features of
So
the
you
landscape.
and you're a kid.
I wanted to explain, but was
Or no, you tasted the sap or whatever, right?
My lips and tongue engaged in an intricate choreography, myself in the audience observing the words performed. My lips muttered,
I'm sure it will pass.
while my thoughts were crying for help.
It's hard to explain the audio sensations right now because it's like I don't know if you're wearing a headset right now or not. If you're not wearing headphones, this game has a very, very interesting perspective. It's like it feels like the voices are like right behind you on your shoulder, kind of like talking into your ear. It's really bizarre feeling, kind of like unsettling in a way. Maybe. I think it was they tasted sap or something on a tree or flower. Which flower do we go for? The white one or the red one? We'll go for the red one. Can't resist a red flower.
The conversation
kept going, but I stopped paying attention. Instead, I was following the hands of a clock mounted on the doctor's wall.
They were both speeding up and slowing down.
I was slipping further and further away, a levitating camera in a video game, merging with the code it was running on. Again with the binary,
With the electronic circuit and so on, I closed my eyes and let my sensations
Lead
Should I
me.
close my eyes?
First, I spent some time with my bones. Among their many functions, I got lost in their continuous breathing.
an uninterrupted flow of calcium absorbed and released.
Even my skeleton was alive and
living in and of itself. I could feel my mind clinging
To the known,
to the clattering thoughts, the buzzing of memories and fears of the future.
But for each breath, tension was released, and my shoulders sunk comfortably.
I had certainly felt like
I was in there, somewhere behind my
Maybe
face,
going into a coma?
but I was nowhere to be found.
and the more I looked,
The way I became.
Sounds like possibly like being in a coma kind of situation. Yeah, very soothing sounds. The audio is very nice. How's it going, Barsh? Welcome in, buddy. A minute? Oh, really? It's taking that long? Well, the screen is usually a little delayed. That's normal. I might restart the stream whenever we finish this. But I'd like to get this part done in one little section here if I can. Alright, we'll go for this yellow flower. How can we go wrong? Yeah, like this is almost like a game that you can kind of just like close your eyes and just like experience, right? I specifically titled this game Experience for a reason because it's not really a game so much. It's more of an experience. You know what? I'm gonna be minimalistic today. I'm gonna minimize myself a little more. That way you can just get the full experience.
When my eyelids eventually opened, they felt as slow
As a sunrise,
photons converted to neurosignals shooting along the optic nerve, each carrying a piece of information into the darkness.
The brain categorized motion, color, edges, distance. I sat for a moment in the dusk, watching the sunrise.
When the world eventually lit up,
I was no longer wondering why matter lights up from the inside.
My experience had changed from the fire
My experience.
to the light it emits.
So I guess you recovered
but
from
it
the
would get
illness?
much stranger still.
Interesting. Yeah, we have Faking It and Survive coming up tonight. Faking It and Survive. How do you people feel about this, like, just art style? Like, it's so weird. It really does, in a way, feel like a 3D painting almost. It's very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. See, these are the type of indie experiences that I want to share with people. I want to know how you feel. Like, how does this make you feel? What do you understand the story to be?
Or so I thought. It began as a shimmering field,
Creeping slowly in
From the periphery of my vision, the hands
Of the clock, still moving, but among them, vague shapes. Slowly, but surely, I saw trees
Flowing past me. And among them,
Myself, sitting right there in the doctor's office.
with a vacant expression.
It's like an out-of-body
Walking around
experience.
myself, I was surprised to still see the clock.
straight ahead.
Myself on the side. The clock on the wall.
The two images were not overlapping, they just
Existed.
like imagining a familiar place with your eyes closed, and you see both nothing
and something at the same time.
I turned to look towards myself.
myself, but saw only the face of the doctor.
Lingering somewhere
Between confusion, concern, and annoyance.
However, when I studied his face closer,
I was struck by terror.
A terror.
the image of myself,
I turned to look straight into my own eyes.
I felt my own hand reach out.
Towards myself.
the weight of my hand landing softly on my own shoulder.
eyes distant, looking at the doctor, looking at myself.
Rules and boundaries disappearing.
So it sounds like an out-of-body experience. What do you think? What do you think the story? What is this telling us? What is the story about? Yeah, there's definitely a lot of them now, Cuzzy. Making tea, very nice, Legion. Yeah, that is a good first quote, isn't it? It's making me think. I'm like, what is this story about? Like I don't know, is this a literal story? Is this something that physically happened? Is this like a mental thing? Like, is this a kid that got sick from eating tree sap? Or is it, deeper than that? Is this like a story about depression? I don't know.
The fire was spreading. A delicate wave of nostalgia washing over me. Intimate recollections of past sorrows, relationships,
Education and even medical experience. And at last, I was
No longer alone.
No longer alone.
Not in the sense
sense
that
that the doctor was there in the room, but rather
that we were together
in the darkness of my mind.
a vast number of sensations were still flowing, but now
with 2 observers to share the burden.
Two observers to share the burden. I'm really not sure how to interpret this. I'm not sure how to interpret what's happening in this story. Think about this game, Legion, like an interactive novel, an interactive bedtime story, perhaps.
Somewhere, out of sight, a hand picked me up. And as I kept breathing, the fire kept spreading. Soon, it
It was my
swallowed my
parents, sitting in their chairs, doubting my story.
Doubting my story.
I felt contradicting opinions and ideas coexist, but not in conflict.
Different notes in harmonious chords shaping a balanced, indivisible whole.
More clouds spread into my vision.
And more sensations to my body. The music was evolving.
The music was
I
evolving.
looked at my hand.
5 fingers against the surface.
Felt no different than 5 bodies or minds.
Branches becoming aware that they were connected to the same trunk all along.
Their experience, my own. All of them
Present in my mind.
See, I'm not sure how to interpret this when it talks about feeling disconnected. It feels like not understanding that you're whole, maybe, kind of thing. You're curious what it'll be? Is their consciousness infecting another person? Elaborate, Ghost. It could be a story of death. That's possible, Legion. That's very possible.
The prickling kept spreading.
Each needle
Maybe chickenpox?
another presence in my mind. More and more.
Observers sharing the burden.
So people were coming in
A
to
vast number of
check me out.
sensations
flowing. My world, like musical sunlight, just passing through. Every individual going about their business.
Strangers on the street.
unaware that they were all each other, the surroundings, and me.
I knew and felt them all as I knew and felt myself.
and I could no longer feel contempt, or that anyone
was
Somehow, less deserving.
There was no longer me and you, no us versus them. It was all just me.
It was all just me. No, us versus them was all just me. I'm trying to like digest it like in sentences. I don't understand what that represents. Basically, Jesus. Basically. Welcome in, by the way, friend. How's it going? A date of sorts? What do you mean, cuzzy? That noise is terrifying.
as I kept breathing in and out,
Each new breath pushed me along
a ubiquitous landscape that
That was simply too beautiful to ignore.
what lay past each tree and beyond every hill was another idea.
I knew to be true.
mountains, shining shadows of
Matter flowing through time. Slowly
From one point of view, but for the mountain itself,
Oh boy, it's in a hurry, like everyone else.
both the whirlpool and the stream. An expression of energy floating through empty space. All experiences merging to one.
There I was. All of us. You, me, I.
The light that shines through the film. All else is smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, I'm a little lost right now. Like, I'm not sure what this is talking about. The people being together, maybe? I'm not sure how to interpret that.
As with all stories, this one also ends.
Not because the story has ended, but because it keeps moving, leaving us behind. My body kept living like
Yours will. With surfaces preserving its illusion of separateness.
The screen.
Our very own eyes.
I couldn't tell if I ascended or dissolved.
I'm soaring through space,
but unable to move, nevertheless.
And as I turn in orbit,
The boundary between light and dark keeps moving. A cascading wave
of thoughts arriving at dawn.
Just to slip away at dusk.
Wave of thoughts. So it sounds like this is representing death. Exactly, Boneless. Boneless says sightseeing is a lot of pure beauty in the world that a lot of people don't see. You mean like this? Sounds like that might be part of kind of what this game is getting at too. The beauty of the world. Maybe not taking life for granted kind of thing, maybe.
A violent competition on a speck of dust suspended in nothing.
an energy field fumbling in the dark, trying to describe myself.
I want to be
Safe, well fed, not too warm, not too cold, to be acknowledged by my closest.
So even though you are another part of me looking back, you will always
You are
be
another
a
part of
stranger.
me.
A lump of
Resources
for my exploitation. Branches cut.
our hemispheres separated once again.
Rocks, skipping along the surface, never sinking in. The inconsistent dash of beauty between
noise, picked up by a stranger with good intentions,
And with it, sentenced to die. I don't care who you are or how you found me.
but we are both reaching in.
Reaching in.
A few lonely rays, then venturing through space in just the right direction. Absorbed
in our
in these,
leaves, stored as sweet sugars,
and exhaled as crisp and clean oxygen.
Sunlight.
And while the light warms our skin,
Or while we wait for the next sunrise,
we breathe in and out. All the eyes and for a moment
we
we are together. You and me as one.
like we always are.
Collective consciousness? Yeah, I see what you're saying, Ghost. Just walk around in the park, just casual walking through a forest, maybe? Yeah, the multiple voices. Yeah, maybe you have a point there, Ghost. That's an interesting idea. Oh, so maybe this is like a climate. Maybe like there's a climate change kind of like vibe behind this. Because the trees are cut down now. Collecting flowers for your own grave, perhaps? One of the things it said was about picking a flower where you have good intentions. You know, maybe you're picking the flower to give it to someone you love, but you're killing the flower by doing it. You're taking a life to make another person's, something else's life better, perhaps. Maybe that's the theme of how much are you willing to sacrifice of one good thing for another kind of thing. Like maybe this is like an allusion to how much of the earth are we willing to sacrifice for our own comforts? Maybe. Does that make sense to anybody? Am I just completely off the beaten path now? So it looks like this forest was perhaps burned. Very desolate. The sky is still pretty. Right, Cuzzy, right. I mean, I knew it was a story-focused game, but I didn't realize it was going to be like kind of like one of those like philosophical, deep thought games. So this has been interesting. I actually got this free from the developers for streaming purposes, by the way. So shout out to the developers for providing this. Maybe this is just it. Maybe the game never ends. Maybe you're just infinitely walking through the remains of a forest. Right, that's what I'm thinking. There might be some kind of like climate awareness aspect of that this game is getting at. I know that this game apparently was involved in all the funding. Apparently every if you buy, it's like every time you buy this game, they plant a tree or something like that. So I wonder if that's kind of like the theme of it. I'm still a little confused on how that correlates to the idea of being a sick child, going to the doctor, being examined. Having a little bit of trouble with that kind of mindset. On how those two things link together. There are actual hills, it seems now, which is different. It was flat before. Wait, can I not walk that way? Enter text. I'm caught off guard. Enter text. How about that? How about that? Only a fool would come here. Does that sound good? I'm going to go with that. Only a fool would come here. Is there a better way to say that? Better than come here? Like, only a fool would... Only a fool would venture this far. How about that? Only a fool would venture this far. How about that? Only a fool would venture this far. Dot, dot, dot. And that's it. That is the game. Interesting. Wow, okay. So what's everybody thinking? What's the meaning behind this? What's the meaning behind this deep experience? And Sketcher, it is so good to see you, friend. We miss you too, Sketch. What is happening? Busy with school and work? Ooh, what are you doing for work now? Glad to see you, Sketch. Bones are good. Forbidden text. Press space to return. Huh. This game makes you think about your life. It's true. It's a short game. It's a 30-minute experience. We probably took about 40 minutes because we played it a little slower. You know, that's a good question, Ghost. I wonder if that's an aspect of it. Maybe that is actually IRL something. Oh, library. Oh, yeah, that's what you wanted to do, right, Sketch? You wanted to be a librarian. You wanted to be the nerdy young librarian girl, right? That shushes everybody. I remember now. I remember. What's happening for you tonight, Ben? Planting trees to carve messages into them. I mean, isn't that kind of what the game was about, though? The double-edged sword of that? So here's what I'm curious about. I wonder if somebody else plays this game, can they find my stump with my message? That's interesting to think about. You did enjoy the style. That was interesting, right? I'm not sure how to feel about it. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I can't describe what I don't know. I can't piece it together. Like what is the moral of the story here, you know? Well, we actually just played the entire game in one sitting. It's just a quick little 30-minute game, Sketch. It was an artistic walking sim that told us a story and kept it simple. Ben says the question of the day, your outdoor activity is in the summer swimming, winter sledding, spring and fall is hiking through the woods. Don't hike through these woods. Just saying, Ben, if you're ever hiking through some woods and you happen to find a stump that has the phrase, only a fool would venture this far, get out. All right. Well, I think that is it. You know, that is Sunlight. Does anybody else have any other thoughts on this experience, on this game? Anybody else have anything that you feel like this game made you think about? Did it bring out any specific emotions? Like after you've experienced this, do you feel like is there anything different? Is there anything that you're thinking about because of this? Nice, simple, short storytelling. Exactly. It's just a simple little experience to experience, and that's it. It's interesting, though. I really enjoyed it. Truthfully. Oh, I missed yours, Han. I'm sorry. Your outdoor activity is soccer or camping. Nice. Which one do you prefer? Or maybe both? Maybe you camp at a soccer... you're going to camp in the soccer goal? Interesting. I like this question of the day along with this. You just felt like this is perfect for an English essay? Yeah, I agree. You could definitely write you could write your own story about this game, right? That'd be an interesting kind of presentation, right? What does this game experience tell us? Right? Never take life for granted. I think that's part of it for sure. I think that is a part of it for sure, Bunless. Interesting. Soccer is your preference. Sketch says the question of the day, your outdoor activity is biking when it's temperate. Ooh, vernacular. And kite flying, really? You're flying kites. I didn't think anybody did that nowadays. Flying kites. That's awesome, Sketch. I haven't even thought about flying kites in years. Alright, friends. Well, this was Sunlight. So I hope that all of you enjoyed it. For those who may watch this later on YouTube, leave some feedback.